Welcome to Enhancement City, bitch. Hello, all NXT fans, and welcome to another video with me, Mike McRock, one half of the McRock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show, and right now I'm going to give you my review and my thoughts in regards to this week's episode of NXT for June the 10th, 2015, and we start off the show with an enhancement match. Of course, the first out of many enhancement matches on tonight's show. We had Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley teaming up to take on Mike Rollins and Elias Sampson, and this was an okay opener. Having Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder come out is a good way to hype up the fans. If you want to get your fans ready, you gotta kind of kick it off with a way that makes them wake up for 1 hour, for the entire hour. So this was a good way to kick things off with Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder as a team. I like that they are a team. I don't know if this is going to be a one-time thing, or is this something that's going to be going on now for probably a good few weeks, or maybe hopefully they stay as a team, because I think the tag team division really needs newer teams, because there's not very many. And this basically was an enhancement match where Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley won. Nothing special happens, really. Nothing out of the ordinary, much like every other match on this week's show. And yeah, this was pretty much an enhancement match like everything else. So moving on, we get to a nice video package of Dana Brooke. I like how NXT does different things with their talent, and doing video packages is a good way to mix it up. And we got a good one here with Dana Brooke showcasing her strengths as a performer, really establishing that she's this total diva and she's also this alpha female type of character. I like how they're meshing those two character traits with her mixed into one that makes her stand out amongst the rest. So kudos to NXT for doing something different with Dana Brooke. We also get Emma taking on Blue Pants. Again, another enhancement match where nothing really happened. Emma goes over in a heelish, well, not really a heelish type of form, but she goes over with her submission hold, the Emma Lock. And we also have Becky Lynch versus Jessie McKay. Basically another enhancement match, and it's another good, decent introduction for fans that don't know who Becky Lynch is, and now you know who she is. So I like how NXT this week done a decent job in introducing or reintroducing certain type of characters. And one thing I kind of liked about the show, surprisingly, was what they done with Bull Dempsey, and I'll explain that in a bit here. We got Tyler Breeze go one-on-one with Bull Dempsey, and for a second I thought, oh, this is going to be a match where NXT has nothing to do or has nothing for these two guys, so they just decide to throw them in. Not necessarily, even though I kind of got that impression. Here you have Tyler Breeze go over, and in the process of how Tyler Breeze goes over, it kind of actually made me laugh a little for some reason. You had Bull Dempsey trying to chase around Tyler Breeze outside the ring, and he gets winded out, he gets worn out, and he starts feeling his heart. And the fans are chanting, cardio, cardio. And then that's when Tyler Breeze rolls him in the ring and nails the beauty shot and pins him 1, 2, 3. But what I like is what they done after the match, where Bull Dempsey interrupted William Regal backstage. He was eating the bag of Doritos, and then later on he brings out the chocolate bar. And, at least it's an attempt for NXT to give Bull Dempsey some sort of character development, so to speak, and God Lord, he really needs it, because every time I look at this guy, all I see is a jobber. So I think it might be a good thing if NXT gives Bull Dempsey some sort of character. please. I think he really needs it. And what also happened on the show is that we got Baron Corbin versus Angelo Dawkins. Again, another enhancement match. There's really nothing new here with Baron Corbin, but I've been noticing that the fans, have turned on him. And I've noticed that the little things that Baron Corbin was doing even throughout this match that kind of made him look heelish. So maybe actually turning full heel would actually be benefit for him and it would be okay for him, because at least it might give him some sort of direction when it comes to a character standpoint, and hopefully he gets embodied into another feud coming off of the match he had with Rhino at the NXT TakeOver Unstoppable 2-hour special event. And we also get a backstage segment where Jason Jordan was about to introduce a new tag team partner, but it gets interrupted by Chad Gable, a guy that's kind of been itching and wanting to be Jason Jordan's tag team partner. And I kind of like that NXT is kind of trying to develop this storyline between these two guys. And I think whenever they do decide to put them as a tag team, it might be one of those things where even though it happens by accident, it actually could work. And it's something that maybe, again, the NXT Tag Team Division needs. So I like that. Not only is Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder a team, hopefully it's permanent, but also NXT might have something here and a good story here with Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. And then we get to the main event on NXT, and that was Samoa Joe versus Scott Dawson, and this was hyped up to be Samoa Joe's first debut match on NXT. My only issue with this is that I wish that NXT would give us maybe a week or two in advance to let us know that Samoa Joe will be making his in-ring debut, just to make it more meaningful and more impactful in a way. But, I like what they've done here. You had Samoa Joe pretty much squash this guy, which only makes sense because Samoa Joe is a big guy, and it wouldn't be believable if Scott Dawson even got a lick in. So I like what they've done here with the last match. And really the biggest saving grace out of this show was what happened in the closing moments, where we had Kevin Owens on the commentary booth putting himself over and later on just going away. But Samoa Joe gets on the microphone and cuts a promo saying, "Hey, Kevin Owens, where are you going? Get back. I want you in the ring. I want to fight you." And then Kevin Owens rebuttals and says, "You have not earned the right to fight me. You don't get a title shot. You earn it." So I like the good back and forth dialogue between the two of them. NXT is attempting to deliver a story of some consequence and some purpose and some meaning behind it. So I like this segment. And then we get William Regal coming out and announcing that Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens will face each other next week. And I'm kind of 50-50 on this, because on one hand, it seems like they're kind of rushing into this feud and just, oh wait, we're going to have a match next week. They're just kind of rushing this feud and not taking its time where it really needs to. I kind of like the slow burn of the teasing and stuff. And now already they're kind of just being put in a match for next week. And I'm thinking, well, that was kind of rushed. But on the other hand, when it comes to an NXT episode standpoint, maybe next week's episode needs a match like this in order for next week's show to actually feel like something would stand out, feel like something special has happened, because this show never had any of that next week. I'm kind of disappointed in that. There were a lot of enhancement matches on the show with only maybe a couple of attempts to create a new character, create a storyline here or there, but overall, this was just an kind of show. If I were to rate this out of a 10, I would probably give it maybe a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10. So that's basically my review in a nutshell with this week's episode of NXT. And if you saw this episode, what did you think about it? Feel free to leave those comments in the comment section below. Make sure to follow MRB Wrestling on Twitter, like us on Facebook at the Make Rock a Bolt Wrestling Review Show, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button down below this video to become an MRBer. And on a final note, to all you viewers watching, get plenty of rest and always do your best.